Hi everyone, like she said, my name is Tamarra, and I'm a junior here at the University of Florida. I just wanted to start by giving you all a warm welcome. I know this might be the first time for some of you visiting Gainesville, so welcome to the swamp. So today, I'm going to be talking about the power of labels. The first time I realized what a label was, and even the fact that I was forced into one, was about 10 years ago. It was sort of like a revelation. It happened when I was at probably my favorite place as a kid. The beauty supply store. My mom would always take me there when I was younger, just to buy stuff for my hair. To the left, I would always see the hair greases and the lotions. I walk a little further down, and I get to the combs and brushes, but finally at the end, I reach the most precious item, the Perm Box. These boxes featured little black girls with long, luscious, straight hair, and every time I begged my mom to make me look like the girl in the box, because these companies made me feel like maybe, just maybe, if I tamed my curls, I'd be prettier. And sadly, when you're told enough times that you must fit into a certain mold, it starts to stick with you. So that was my label. I had to look like those girls in the boxes. And you know what? I'm fed up with organizations taking advantage of vulnerable communities. I mean, yeah. African Americans are constantly being labeled, and I guess I knew this my whole life, but it became way more apparent this past summer, when I interned at the Truth Initiative. The Truth Initiative is America's largest nonprofit dedicated to stopping tobacco use among youth. One of our main priorities is seeking and spreading the facts about big tobacco companies and how they market toward low-income, LGBTQ+, and other vulnerable communities, including kids. Our hope, however, is that while they're marketing to us, we have the power and the truth to say no. An example of the information we spread is that big tobacco companies label African Americans as being less educated, as having low self-esteem, and they even label us a market priority. When I first heard the words that they used to describe me, I couldn't help but feel anger. I mean, not only are these labels destructive, but they're also lies. And they're deadly lies. Although African Americans tend to smoke fewer cigarettes and start smoking at an older age than white Americans, we're still more likely to die from tobacco-related diseases. Why? Well, because there's up to 10 times more tobacco ads and retailers in predominantly black neighborhoods than in any other neighborhood. So why is it then that so many companies choose to use their communications for nefarious reasons? Well, honestly, it's because of these labels. And who's to blame? All of us. Even the nonprofits whose mission is to help these communities. Unintentionally, nonprofits tend to focus on the negative aspects of a community rather than the positive. Research by the Frameworks Institute shows that when people hear negative data about another group of people, they tend to associate those failures with the people and not with the institutions that made it harder for them to thrive. So when we only focus on the negative, we're only further perpetrating this deceptive narrative, making it easier for companies to label us. Let's let that sink in. Not many people know this, but data shows that black men are the most engaging fathers in the nation. We produce businesses at a rate that's growing at over twice the national average, and our households give 25% more of our income to charities than the national average. So, now that we know the truth, I've actually taken the liberty of changing some of the labels that they use to describe me. African Americans are highly educated. Yes. We are highly motivated. And we're strong. So, let's get back to my internship last summer. With the Truth Initiative, I was fortunate enough to help spread the facts about big tobacco companies. I had the opportunity to publish articles and to learn about many different campaigns. One campaign that stuck out to me in particular was the Worth More campaign. This is where we ask young people to post a selfie and explain to big tobacco why we're worth more than their products. One story that stuck out to me in particular was about a man named Eric. Eric began smoking at the age of 17, and his mother had been a smoker for more than 20 years. When Eric turned 27, his mom suffered from a tobacco-related stroke and almost died. After this day, Eric vowed to never smoke another cigarette again. And today, Eric has been smoke-free for 5 years. Go, Eric. A few weeks after that, he signed up to be a truth tour writer, where he travels to different cities, learning the facts about big tobacco companies and engaging with youth who tell their stories about tobacco products. He says this is what truly motivated him to stay away from tobacco products for good. But till this day, he still sees tobacco ads pressuring him to begin smoking again. And Eric is only one of the many victims of big tobacco products, and there's no wonder that there's so many. Today, big tobacco companies spend 80% of their yearly marketing budget discounting cigarettes in hopes that more people like Eric will get addicted, or in his case, re-addicted. But luckily, he learned the truth, and he was able to push them away for good. So, speaking of the truth, one key takeaway I got from my internship is that many companies, especially those in the tobacco industry, have the power to use their communications for nefarious reasons. But I want to challenge that by saying we all can come together to use our stories for good. Big tobacco companies are trying to normalize the bad habit, but you know what? We can normalize the good in people. No, the truth in people. So I'm here to ask you all to speak up when you hear negative stereotypes, whether it be among your friends or at a professional setting, such as work. Fighting these stereotypes could simply mean vocalizing new and more empowering ways to speak about these communities. It could also mean just supporting them and giving them the platform to fight these stereotypes themselves. The truth needs to be told, and our stories need to be heard. This is who we are. So let's quit the lying, and let's begin telling our truth. From all of this, I've learned that this issue is bigger than just the tobacco industry. I mean, the first ad to target me was in the beauty industry. But luckily, I learned the truth. And I love my hair. And I don't want to look like those girls in the perm boxes anymore. So let's begin fighting those perm boxes by simply telling our truth. I've committed to telling my truth by becoming a truth ambassador, just like Eric. So I want to encourage you all to learn how to spread your truth through facts, through stories, on social media, even in day-to-day interactions with other people. We all have to tell our truth, or no one else will. Let's all start telling our stories. It's on us. Thank you.